The boys in Kiss are getting sued. Stay tuned. We're going to talk about it, why, how, and what's going to happen according to our small brains. It's me, Baxter.
And me, Jonathan.
We're here at Casino Guitars, and we're talking all things Kiss.
Is it a harder and faster day, or no?
I wasn't going to say it. I'm glad you did, though. It made me happy. Is that like a catchphrase?
Can't leave it out now. I don't know. I don't think it's our
Let's keep it going. I don't know.
Someone's.
It's Ron Jeremy's.
Yeah, sure.
Anyway, so Kiss is many of the members and the manager of Kiss are being sued right now by the former guitar tech for Paul Stanley, his wife. But the guitar tech passed away in 2021 due to complications with COVID, they believe, and she is suing for wrongful death. And this was on their sort of farewell tour type of thing that was happening. This is a complicated little issue. I
mean, obviously, very sad that he passed away. That sucks.
It's a tragedy. It's a bummer. That was part of. The whole universe was going through like a terrible. The whole world. Yes. I'm sorry, not the universe. They had no knowledge of this, but the whole world was going through a pretty rough time then.
Yes.
And our condolences to the family, and to the members of anyone affected by this. But let's get into the nitty gritty of what's going on.
Yeah. So lay it out for me. Why does she think? Why the lawsuit?
Well, the lawsuit is the wrongful death due to COVID because of the touring conditions were unsafe.
Okay.
Which is tricky because we have an actual person here that works behind the cameras that was on tour with them for a little bit and saw their COVID restrictions and regulations were quite draconian for the Kiss shows.
Well, yeah, that's what I took away from hearing about that was that they were pretty.
They were severely careful about it.
Very, very careful. Yeah.
Regardless of how you feel.
More than I would have been.
More than you were.
More than I were.
I feel like during the peak of COVID, like John's like, yeah, we're just doing some open mics here, coming everyone up and singing the.
Everybody, just lean in that same mic. It's fine.
Just breathe on in and breathe on out.
Yeah.
No, it's just a tough situation. So what happened was, he'd fallen ill, and we're keeping names out of it just because. But we obviously mentioned Paul Stanley's been named in the suit, and the manager as well. These names are pretty public facing, but we're keeping the guitar tech's name and family out of it. But he'd fallen ill a bit, and he was in his hotel room, and they asked to have some medical attention go overseas. So one of the guitar staff, like a team of them, there's a huge team that goes to Trick Kiss. Somebody went over to the hotel, couldn't get in the room. They finally got the room open, and unfortunately, he had passed away in the room at this point. And that's sort of what. And then ever since then, this has sort of been going on. I don't know, I haven't talked to any of the members of the family or the members of Kiss on this, obviously, but it seems like they must have gotten hints of a lawsuit immediately, because otherwise they would have handled this internally. I can almost guarantee.
I would imagine that's true. I mean, I don't know. It seems like it's kind of a long time for the lawsuit, but maybe not. I don't know what the timetable all these things are.
Well, and there could have been there might have been negotiations behind the scenes trying to come up with a settlement of sorts, and it might have been outrageous.
Or maybe just fell short of expectations.
And now it has to go to the legal thing, which I hate. I hate it for the family. I hate it for everybody involved in it. It stinks.
It just further sort of sullies the whole idea of the thing. Well, it sucks. It sucks that whole thing happened. Obviously, it sucks that people got sick, people died, but I don't know, man. I feel like you go out, you take a job, you go on the road, you get sick.
It is tricky. This is the guitar touring world. Like a lot of people get sick pre-COVID and post-COVID too, and it's a dangerous job. But there's risks inherent in it. There's lots of them. There's lots of partying. There's lots of drinking. There's lots of drug use a lot of the time. There's also you're not sleeping normal hours. You're traveling. You're in unsanitary conditions regardless. And then you add on top of that a yucky thing.
Did you say risks or perks? I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. It's so serious.
We can have
it is, right? Like that's just kind of the way it is.
That's part of the game.
On such a tiny mini level compared to Kiss, but you and I have both been on the road.
Yes.
And I know all sorts of people. I've been in all sorts of situations where people got sick way pre-COVID. You know what I mean? Usually it was fine, but it's miserable. It's miserable when you're on the road.
Being on the road, being sick is horrible.
You're sick. God, it sucks.
And compound that with just not having regular access. You can't just, it's hard to go to a doctor immediately. They have a medical staff that travels with you, and there's EMS there, but
But you're also like usually if you're on the road, like the goal, I mean, as much fun it is to not sleep and do all those things and drink and party. I mean, you're trying to make money, right? So like every time I've ever been on the road, if I got sick, I want to stay working. Like I've been with guys who are, playing drums and puking in a bucket during the show so that like we can all, it is disgusting, but guess what? If you don't do that, there's no paid sick days when you're a musician most of the times.
That is the truth. It's a different type of job, and those who take on being a tech, a touring artist, a lighting rig, a roadie, for anything from food services, it's just different. It's not normal 9 to 5 going to the office. It's just you're running hard and you're running fast.
And I mean, I don't know how it is with Kiss, other than what we've heard from our wonderful friend who's been with them. But usually you kind of become like a little family. You might argue and hate each other, but in those situations,
just
what
like
I've
us
seen,
at the shop, we had an argument earlier this morning. It was really funny. I enjoyed laughing at it.
But you take care of each other, right? And so I'm sure everyone was probably looking out for that guy and trying to sort of pick up the slack. And I don't even know what it would be like post-COVID. Like I'm sure it even heightens it more. That oh my God, you got COVID. Let's take care of you. But
no, well, it's something tough too. It's like, well, would the argument be like, well, you just can't go on tour now because we're post like the bad year of COVID now. But it's like it's unfortunately that's the job, and like how many jobs were lost due to that.
Well, I think if I'm not mistaken, we did videos about how many of those guys and those crews for bands and stuff, like how many jobs were lost there, guys who made a living doing this for however many X number of years. So, I mean, I would think most of the artists who got back on the road, their crews and their techs and from the lighting people to the chefs and caterers, probably were thankful that they were getting back on the road so they can make a living again. So again, it does suck. Hopefully all the right, safety measures were followed just as far as being safe and sanitary and all that kind of junk. But I don't know.
I'm sure. I'm curious to hear what people think because it's fascinating to me too because I'm the guy who doesn't care about intonation on my own guitar. So like I'm fast and loose with most of that stuff. Like I've been sick a lot before. I've got the horrible bug twice along the way. Been poked and jabbed, and it was just I don't know. It's hard, but I'm also I remember not having health insurance for a long time in my life as a grown man, and it's how it is, and so I don't know. It's a hard question.
It is a hard, and again we don't know, but I would love to know if there had been an offer to kind of take care of this family member or what the deal
because nothing like no financial settlement can like make up for that a person's gone.
Of course not.
We know that like especially if you're a parent and like that's it's tough. Like we've seen it all. Like, we live in a military town like where we unfortunately see this more often than not with moms having to raise their babies alone. It's tough, but
it is.
But yeah, I don't want to say it's. I hate to say like it's part of the job. It's just like they're not going out there like saving the world. They're going out there making rock and roll.
Right.
But maybe rock and roll does save the world.
So.
Maybe Kiss is what saves the world at the end of the day. There's a cartoon about that, I think.
Yeah. I mean, there's just so many. Like, had he gotten sick at home and had been in bed at home, would it have been different? I don't know. You know what I mean? I mean, I guess the argument is maybe you don't get sick if you're at home. But,
no, when I get sick too, like the thing I most want is I just want to be left alone, be home alone. Like let somebody please take care of the kids, like everything. I'll just be I don't want to get anybody else sick.
I mean, I'm just thinking like the fact that you're on the road and you get sick and you have your own hotel room to go to.
Oh yeah.
Usually it's like go lay on your seat in the 15-passenger van.
Oh, gotcha. Oh yeah, that's
and just
sounds like heaven to me.
The door. Oh God.
Here's your seat that you have to sleep in somehow. Oh. It's a horror show. No, we're going to be watching this as it goes, and we'll do an update on this when the settlement or the decision is made. I hope there's a settlement made, and it doesn't have to go through the whole.
Hopefully, there's a good settlement, right? And it takes care of the family, and everybody's happy. Not happy, but
I think from our understanding of like our relationships with the guys in Kiss too, like they're nice, normal people. I mean, normal.
I don't know if they're normal.
Normal's not all of them are normal.
Right, but
not all of them are super nice, but the ones that we know are pretty dang awesome.
Met, yes.
Yeah, and it's so we're hoping the best for the family. We're hoping the best for everyone just to work out. But it's a fascinating news story that we'll be keeping an eye on.
There you go.
I think I'm gonna go.
I think we're gonna.
You're gonna go now.
Yeah.
Get ready for Dune 2. It's coming soon.
It is coming.
It's coming soon. Dune 1 just dropped on Netflix a bit ago.
You can stream it now on Netflix.
Yeah, so watch it. Have you watched it again since we watched it?
No, I almost did the other night, but it was too late. I couldn't get into it. I was like,
I've watched it like probably 3 times at least.
It's good.
I think it's, I'm watching all of his movies. I forgot how many great movies he made.
Have you ever watched Quinn? I think it's Quinn's Ideas or something like that on YouTube.
No, about Dune?
He does all these nerdy like lore of different things, but you can get like deep synopsis things of like all the Dune books or like all these different ideas in Dune. So I'm just watching those.
When I was telling Dylan who works with us in the shop, you'd come by and meet him sometime, say hi, that you're a Dune fan, he was very confused.
Is he a Dune fan?
Well, he's like steps his toes in there a bit, but not like us.
Can't step your toes in.
Agreed. You gotta go full in.
It's like
the Arctic polar blast jump in the water. You just gotta do it.
Can't walk the golden path on the edge. You gotta jump on there and get in the middle.
I feel like the golden path on the edge should be like a Blink-182 song.
Yeah, it could be.
Can't walk the golden path. Okay, on that note, click like, subscribe.
Hit the old bell.
Have a wonderful day, and peace be with you.